goes a little something like this.
Despite the return of producer James Cameron and the reunion of Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Forbes reports that the sci-fi action sequel pulled in a horrific $10.6 million on Friday, and it's now tracking for a lousy $27 million opening weekend on an inflated budget of $185 million. I mean, I think this is the trend nowadays. You know, it's something that happens with changing society. You know, you have to kind of expect some movies to do certain trends because that's just how our culture works nowadays. You know, it's something that we can't really avoid, nor should we get that upset about it. But at the same time, you know, sometimes this can hurt films and filmmaking because of the story elements you put into it. Because with Vital to the two movies before that, and then the movie Dark Fate, like kind of like reshaped everything in a way where they didn't like necessarily like expect it so suddenly. You know, they thought things were gonna go their way. With James Cameron back, not even him could like do that on his own. Like I think that it would have been better if James Cameron directed it himself. Personally, because I saw the movie and I thought it was pretty okay in terms of action film. You know, when you go there just to see action, it'll have action. Like if you're just going there not to really see a story. In terms of the story, I feel like it's a bit of a different direction, to put it lightly. Oda revealed why Luffy is a weak-looking rubber devil fruit user. I almost messed up that name. A weak-looking devil fruit user. Okay. So, to briefly explain this story, One Piece is anime, and anime is basically a Japanese cartoon that's suited for mostly like young adults. So if we see an anime, it's not really made for children. You know, there's certain anime that's made for children, but there's like a good amount of them. I mean, like I'll argue maybe 60 to 70% of them are made purely for adults, but they look like they're made for kids. But One Piece is basically an anime that is about this character. His name's Luffy, and he wants to become the king of the pirates. And it takes place during an age of piracy, and it doesn't take place in actual realistic pirate eras. It takes place in a fictional world, and on this fictional world, there's this thing called devil fruits, and devil fruits are like kind of like how you see like the X-Men in the X-Men movies. You know, like each person has their own unique powers. Same thing with devil fruits. If you eat one, you get your own special power, but the only curse or cost of that is that you can't swim anymore. So it's kind of like funny. It's a big meme how, you know, these characters in One Piece always get devil fruits and they're pirates. So it's kind of hypocritical for them to like have this power and not be able to swim. One of the fans asked Oda, Oda's like basically the author of the whole series. He writes the books and the mangas, everything. A fan asked Oda why he gave Luffy's devil fruit's weakest power how rubber. And Oda answered that it gave him the funniest power, that no matter how serious the story in the manga was, the reader would be able to relax and observe with interest what is happening. I like that explanation. That makes a lot of sense because there are a lot of points where the story gets serious, and sometimes when you see like Luffy like kind of like interacting with his powers and trying to like go somewhere, but his body doesn't necessarily work all that much, so it's like kind of like a gag to see him mess up. And that's sometimes like essential for a story. You always have to have like a balance between comedy and seriousness.